classroom. I know when I had kids in the classroom, you was louder than that. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so we have high school students, right? All right. Well, I'd like to take this opportunity. First of all, it is so good to see students in person. For the last few years, we've been dealing with students online. How many of y'all enjoyed going to school online? I feel you. I didn't enjoy teaching online either. But anyhow, welcome to the King Center. On behalf of Dr. King and all the staff here, we are just so glad to have this opportunity to share with you all about Dr. Martin Luther King's philosophy and methodology on how he did things. And we're going to share this in several unique ways. But first of all, this is going to be an interactive program. Anyone know what interactive means when I say we're going to have an interactive program? Hands-on, okay. Anyone else? Conversation, very good. That's key. But is the conversation one way or two ways? Two ways. So what you get out of this program is what you put into it. So we're going to need your part. And we're going to do that today through a number of ways. But right now, we're going to take this opportunity to give you a special welcome.
Hey, greetings everybody. I'm Bernice A. King. I'm the CEO of the King Center, and I'm the youngest child of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. And I just want to take this time to welcome you to the King Center. We're glad you're here. And we want to make sure that you have a very powerful, exciting, fun, energizing, and engaging experience. And so we've got some dynamic people here today that's going to talk to you, and you're going to learn more about Dr. King beyond what you've seen in a textbook. And we're just excited because you're the generation that's going to change the state of our world, and we're depending on you. And we want to make important deposits in your life today. And so I want to welcome all of the students. I want to welcome all of the educators to the King Center.
Dr. King is the CEO here, and she really cares about us reaching to the youth and making sure that we do all we can to make sure your life is better than what we had. And so this is one way we do this, by making sure you understand what those who came before you had gone through, as well as knowing how you can also take the charge. When you came in, you saw a Beloved video. That's a charge where we're asking you to be kind to one another and to look after one another and make a beloved community, make this world a better place. So hopefully you will go to the website, learn more about it, and join the pledge that we're going to do. But at this time, anybody out there have siblings that's in high school with you, or you the only one there? You got siblings? Good. Just like you do, Dr. King has siblings. So we would like to introduce you to her siblings. She's not the only child, she's the youngest, but she also has siblings that we would like for you to know about.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Mrs. Coretta Scott King had 4 children. First came Yolanda Denise King. Her nickname was Yoki. So cool. When she was a little girl, she wanted to be an actress. She loved acting and pursued a career in acting. Yoki worked very hard on being the best actress she could be. Yoki had starring roles in TV shows and movies. Then came Martin Luther King III. His nickname is Marty, and he loved sports and music when he was a young boy. Martin grew up to be a politician and motivational speaker. Martin has spoken to thousands of people all over the world. After Martin is Dexter Scott King. Dexter was named after Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, where Dr. King was the pastor. Dexter loved playing with his brother and sisters when he was a young boy. Dexter grew up to be a businessman and chairman of the board of the King Center. And last but not least is Bernice Albertine King. Her nickname was Bunny, and she loved skating and playing with her brothers and sister. She also loved playing sports. Bernice is a minister, lawyer, and the CEO of the King Center.
All right. So there we are with introductions at this time. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the program. I'm going to offer some information so you can know for the teachers. The restrooms are directly out here. You don't have to raise your hand to ask me to go. Follow your teacher's direction. But if you go straight down the hall to your right, there's the male as well as the female restroom. So you're welcome to go. We just ask you to do it quietly. Also, throughout the day, when we have the panel discussion, if you have a question, if you want to know an answer to something, we want you to feel free to get up to ask that question. But we ask that you go the outer way, that way, and come around to this mic. We only have one mic. We want you to come to the mic so we can hear you. We are recording also, and we are live streaming at the same time. But those individuals that could not get here can still be a part of the program. So we want you to ask questions. So we need you to ask questions so the panelists can answer your questions, but we want you to do it at the mic. The moderator will encourage you throughout the program. They'll do a discussion, but anytime during that discussion, please get up and ask questions. All right, do we have any questions? Anybody have any questions of me before we get started? Okay, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I spent 20 years in the military and then 20 years in the education system. And now I'm doing the last half of my life here at the King Center, trying to continue to make a difference. I'm a proud father of 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl. Dr. Shondell Bullock is a pharmacist. She's doing well, and her son like doing what guys do, and he's working and doing the things you have to do. So he's just like you are. He just recently graduated himself from college. So we are really, really committed to making your life just as good as we had for our kids, and Dr. King and everybody, your teachers as well. So I'm going to get away from all this boring stuff, and now we're going to get started on something that's exciting. You ready to do something exciting? Something really exciting? All right. Well, let's see. Let me see. Someone text me your teacher's name. So let me get your teacher's name here so I know who we have here in the house here. Okay, so who was it? Ian, okay. So I'm gonna see which class is the loudest, and so we'll see. We have Miss Penn's class in the house. Anybody from Miss Penn's? Nobody? Nope. Only one, all right. What about Miss Rucker? All right, at least you said something. What about Miss Jenkins? All right, and last but not least, Miss Knight. Oh, wow. So Miss Knight took all the slots, brought all her kids, huh? That's a good job. Okay, now it's time for us to have some fun. So Miss Penn, Miss Rucker, Miss Jenkins, and Miss Knight, I hope you gave them their homework assignment, because at all the things we do, we don't give homework just for the sake of it. Okay, so. All right, we're going to get ready to play the game now. All right, it's going to be fun. It's not going to be anything too hard. You already prepared for it. Everything you know for these questions, you would know them, so don't be afraid. All right. All right, I'm going to see. Your teachers already probably selected some students to participate. So I'm going to say, Ms. Rucker, where's Ms. Rucker? Could you send your 2 students up? All right. All right, then. They had already chose 2 students. Let's come on up. They're coming up now. All right. They sent them up already. Wait a minute. That's it. All we need is 2. They sent. Yeah. Okay. You don't have to sit. Don't sit. Don't sit there. You all wait. You wait right there. Don't go nowhere. All right. All right. All right. All right. Thank you guys for being volunteered, or did you volunteer? All right. Okay then, so that's good. What we're gonna do is and you all gonna know the answers, so do not yell them out. You're gonna be dying to yell them out. But instead of yelling them out, I want you to jump up and down, do anything but yell out the answer. But we'll give you the chance to do the answer, okay? All right. Way we're going to play this game, think, pair, share. Some of you probably heard this before, think, pair, and share. We're going to think about the question as it's been read. Then you're going to come up with your answer. Then you're going to pair with the other person to see which is the answer. If you have a different answer, you still got to come up with one answer. And then you're going to share your answer. After they share their answers, then you, the audience, is going to let me know if they're correct or not. Okay? All right, let's give them a round of applause for trying. All right. All right, voice, give me the first question. Turn around. All right, can you all see the question? Okay, just step a little bit this way, back a little bit so they can see too. But I'll read it. It said, what is nonviolent resistance? Is it riding against oppression, organization? Is it being active in nonviolent struggles against violence? It is not being physically violent but saying hateful things, or is it being a pacifist? So what is it? Is it riding against oppressive organizations? Is it being active in nonviolently struggling against violence? Or is it C, not hearing physical violence but saying hateful things? Or is it D, being a pacifist? Okay. All right. You don't need any countdowns. Y'all got your answer? Okay, y'all ready? Yeah. Okay.
B.
B. Oh, somebody said wrong? Okay. I agree to say, what if you said wrong, what is the answer then? All right then. All right. Y'all agree? Yeah, correct. Very good. Nonviolence, we do not want to fight. We don't do all that stuff. We're going to do other things to make sure that we are okay. So let's give them a round of applause. I need you to exit that way. Della, will you give them cards? Because at the end, we will present you all with a prize for participating. Thank you. Then I had two other people who were up here ready to go. Let's go. Where are the other group? Come on, all right, come on. Thank you. Oh, I forgot. What is your name?
Kamara.
Kamara.
Jamaya.
Kamara and Jemiah. All right. Let's give Kamara and Jemiah some noise. Let's support them. Come on, let's get fired up in here. Y'all can make more noise than that. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get fired up. Let's support our classmate. All right. Now, after we did all this, y'all got to get the answer right, okay? All right. All right. Next question. That's okay, she's fine. They can get back together. All right, remember, do not yell it out. All right. What concept or ideas is at the core of Dr. King's nonviolent philosophy? Is it A, eros? Is it B, happiness? Is it C, unconditional love? Or is it D, anger? And remember, you read the article on this, so all this information comes from your homework assignment. How many of y'all did your homework? All right, that's okay. I'm gonna okay, thank you. We're gonna take care of that, okay? You're gonna tell me what teacher didn't give you your homework, all right? And okay, all of them, okay then, all right. Well, y'all did pretty good for not reading, not doing the homework. Y'all just naturally bright. Okay, what is your answer?
C.
C, unconditional love. Is they correct? Absolutely right. Unconditional love. It's that love that you have for a person, to help a person regardless if they're your brother, your sister, you're just a human being. You want to make sure everybody in the world is treated right, everybody get the help they need. You wouldn't just want to just be mean to somebody just because they're not related to you. So it's not that love you have for your girlfriend or your boyfriend. It's not all that stuff. It's just an unconditional love that God has for one of us when he gave up his only begotten son, that we all can have life and have it abundantly. And that's what Dr. King based everything on, is making sure all human beings have a life that they can live, because all human beings are important. So once again, let's give a round of applause to them. All right. Now, as a retired teacher and a retired military person, we want to reinforce everything. So therefore, I'm going to give you the opportunity. In class, the teacher always calls on you. I'm going to give you the opportunity to determine which teacher we're going to pull up on stage to ask questions. All right, let's call them out. What's the name? All right, come on this way. This way, let's go. Come back. They all said you have to come. Come on, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's get up. Let's get up and stand up and cheer. Let's get up and say her name. Let's make noise. Let's make noise and get up here. What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? Miss Wright. You said Miss Wright or Miss Wright? Miss Knight. Oh my goodness. Let's say night, 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 night. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. It'll be really easy. And then you can call a student if you don't know the answer. They'll come and help you. We want to teach you that. In this life, you don't do anything by yourself. All right, all right. Now don't get too happy, because she's going to look for somebody, she said, if she doesn't know the answer. Now, okay, you come on in the middle. I know, get your, because they got a camera. Okay, and I'm going to step back here, because like you, I normally wear my mask with the program I can. So you don't have to look at the screen, because your answer is coming from my head, all right? All right. Did you get a package when you came in here? I did. Did you look at it? They'll call your mom on you, okay. All right, then, well, what I'm going to do then, I'm going to ask you a question, maybe you know. If you've been on our website or if you looked at the film today, we have a campaign going on. And that campaign have the word love in it. So you remember what, at the beginning of the video, what we were talking about? Know what Be Love is? What we said it is? I don't. Okay. Well, you know you got, it's always a student that paid attention, so which student you want to call to help you? Royal. Royal! Let's go! Let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, let's go. All right, roar up, roar up, roar up, roar up. All right, man, I tell you, all right. The M for Michigan? The M. Maze. I'm thinking college, so that's good. Maze, you're looking good, looking good. Oh, way to go. Can you help her out? Can you let her know what the video was telling you about Be Love?
It was saying be love, like even when somebody doesn't love you, you still show them unconditional love. Like you always show love, and that's how you kill them with kindness. Exactly.
All right, that's it. Royal. No, man, I tell you, that's awesome. Sign up. Give you a card for a gift. All right. And you make sure you thank that young man because you're getting a gift because of him. Let's have a round of applause. Job well done. Let's give yourselves a round of applause for a job well done. All right, all right, all right. Okay. All right. That's all the time we have for games. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's time for me to step aside. But before I step aside, I have to introduce someone that's going to take over the second part of this. But before I do that, I got
Donald.
several people. Oh, my goodness. What?
You're forgetting.
What am I forgetting?
We've got to give some prizes to our contestants.
Prizes. Oh, yes. Oh, prizes. We got to give prizes. Oh, my goodness. Why do I always forget the prizes? Always forget them. What type of prizes are we giving out? Are we giving students prizes or are we giving teachers prizes?
We're giving both.
Oh, both. So you would like to tell us about the student prizes?
That's correct.
Well, I'm turning it over to you.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Donald, and thank you, Tamia, the lovely Tamia from Cameroon, Africa. So for our awesome, amazing student contestants who love to wear Nikes, they're going to receive a King Center Students with King book bag.
Yay!
And inside that book bag, they're going to receive an NV365 ink pen to do their homework with.
All right, all right.
And they're going to be able to receive a Be Love wristband. Hope you match it up with your other gear. And you're going to receive a King Center bookmarker, which features the 6 principles of Dr. King's nonviolent philosophy.
All right, that's awesome for this student. Each student that participated today will receive this.
That's right.
Now,
And,
what about that teacher?
well, for our on-the-spot teacher, so awesome, so amazing, training and educating the bright minds of the future, a new car. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong show. For our dynamic teacher contestant, she's going to receive a dream-themed coffee mug so she can stay up late at night putting A's and B's on all her students' papers. She's also going to receive a King Center keychain, and she's going to receive an NV365 ink pen to write A's and B's on all her students' papers. And a wristband.
All right, hold up.
Thank you, Tamia.
Thank you, Tamia. And Tamia Chu, she's here with us. She's a Community Engagement Exchange Fellow. She's working with the King Center, and she's here to learn about our education system, to learn about the things that we're doing with our students so she can take it back and emulate some of the things to help the students there. So I'm going to give her an opportunity to say a few words to you. Once again, she's from Cameroon, Africa.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. Once again, I am Tomia Chu from Cameroon, and I am really happy to be part of this program. I am a Community Engagement Exchange Fellow from Cameroon, a young professional who was invited by the US government to experience the educational system here because it is completely different from what we have in Cameroon. In Cameroon, elementary and middle school education is not free, and most students don't have the opportunity to go to school because they don't even have the financial support. So I work in Cameroon. I run a non-profit organization to help these children and students to return to school, especially those who have been displaced from conflict-affected areas. And I must tell you all, you are very lucky to be in this state or in this country where education is free. Because in my country, it is expensive. And you can have as many students as 100 to 150 in one class. So don't miss out on this opportunity. Take this advantage to learn the best. And I'm inviting you all in Cameroon. I will be happy to have you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamia. I truly appreciate it. Then the next individual I'd like to introduce is my coworker. He's in charge of our youth program to deal with the middle and high school students, and he's going to come up and share about his program where you can become a part of it to develop and become a leader, just as Dr. King did.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I'm happy to see Mays High School. I love Mays High School. I live on Camilton Road in Delos, so I'm zoned for Mays High School. Anybody went to Young? Yeah, almost everybody went to Young, right? More. Any other middle school that we fed into? Bunch, okay, and Bunch. Usually Bunch goes to Thorough, but okay. All right, I'm here to talk about our program. It's specifically designed for students ages 13 to 18. It's called the Beloved Community Leadership Academy. Leadership Academy. So applications will be open sometime next year. We'll definitely let your teachers know. But if you're interested in learning more about NV365, so the philosophy and methodology of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., if you're interested in learning how to design your own video game or mobile application, Or if you're interested in business, leadership, and entrepreneurship, then this program is for you. It's a virtual space, so we meet on our computer weekly, and we have international students. So we have students all over the world who are in our Leadership Academy. It's free, it's no charge, you just have to apply, and hopefully you'll get in, because we only have a limited amount of seats, but we really want to have more students a part of the program who attend APS school. So again, we will send out information to your teachers about the beloved Community Leadership Academy. But thank y'all.
Thank you, Ian. I appreciate you taking time out your day to come and share your program with the students. Okay, at this time, it is my distinct honor to introduce to you the moderator for today's program. A lot of you probably know this individual. You've probably seen him on television. He is a news anchor for Fox 5 News, as well as he's an auctioneer. And he goes around raising funds for different charities and different causes. And so will you all give a loud round of applause and help me welcome Mr. George Franco to the stage. George.
Thank you, Donald. How's everybody doing today? All right, really, does anybody know what a TV is anymore? Yeah, I know the teachers might. But you know, the thing I like about being a reporter, I get past the I'm on TV part. That's nice. But I get to be this living historian watching history unfold. Katrina, I was there. All those protests, I was there. Nobody knows, you guys are pretty young, but I remember when the shuttle blew up way back when I was just a kid reporter. It's all about history. And here you are in a place where history has been made, which is formed by history. And the history of what we're talking about is this nonviolence movement with Dr. King. Gosh, you guys weren't even born, but I was just a little kid when I remember my mother crying and crying and crying and crying because we had heard that the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King had been assassinated. And I think it's fair to say that that momentous event put a catalyst and changed a lot of what our world is. And it's made it better for you young people. For Mays High School, how about a yay? All right. All right, so I have to get on your world. So everybody give me a, hey, George, we're doing a selfie. All right. So yeah, I'm also a benefit auctioneer. 25, 35, able to buy, now 45. Okay, somebody raise your hand, just go, just 25, now 35, now 45, now 55, now 65, 75, able to buy, sold, sold, sold. I have a lot of fun doing the fast talk. Probably not as good as some hip-hop talkers. But I raise money for nonprofits, charities, and foundations, and I raise money for groups that are helping in social causes, for groups that are helping with sexual predators, for groups that are helping abused animals, for groups with kids with cancer. You know y'all are lucky to be here tonight, or this afternoon. So it is my distinct honor to be here, but it's not about me, it's about you. Remember, this is an interactive event. So whether you, or you, or you, or you, or even that young man, you, if you, or you, I like it, please don't be shy. We have a microphone over there. If you have a question, go to the mic and I will call on you, because this is all about learning and expanding our minds, our hearts, and our souls in the way of the King Center. Our esteemed guests today are going to take you down this path of learning and history. And first, let's bring out Mr. Charles L. Elfin Sr. Let's call him Captain. How about a round of applause? Captain Elfin is a retired police officer with the St. Louis City Police Department, now serves as the senior trainer for Lafayette and Associates and senior trainer for the King Center right here. And he's a member of the Global Nonviolence Conference series. He has some amazing stories to tell, and we're going to get to that in just a bit. Up next is Ms. Jamaida Orange, the executive director of the MLK Jr. March Committee African American Renaissance Festival. Round of applause, everybody. This young lady has taken up the cause of social justice where her father, the Reverend James Orange, left off. And last but certainly not least, Celeste Beal. How about a round of applause for Celeste? Celeste is the niece of the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the granddaughter of A.D. Williams, a black minister, civil rights activist linked closely to the King family. A round of applause for everybody up here, please. So we have a wealth of knowledge, experience, and emotions that have influenced much of what is happening and shaping the King Center and the nonviolent movement, which we hope you understand and will hopefully influence you as well. Let's start with a couple things. I want to start with Captain Alphen. We were talking that you, back when, anybody know who Nelson Mandela is? Right on. So, I know, I'm certainly part of the people. I believe it. Because I grew up with that same kind of mentality. It was always about Dr. King and Cesar Chavez, who I knew personally, who's a great farm worker, leader, but that was on the West Coast. So there are leaders in history, and there are leaders here with us tonight. Captain, tell us about what you were talking about, the nonviolence movement. You came from a background in policing, in homicides, in domestic violence. You saw the ills of society, and you came here because Coretta Scott King asked you to. Tell us your little story real quick.
Well, first of all, thank you for coming. You are our future, and we're here for you. We are giving you tools so that you can change the society. I'll admit it that we've messed this world up. We have more wars pending, more violence, more nuclear weapons that can destroy this world. But I started in St. Louis, and I was African American, 9 years old, and whites tried to hang me when I wanted to swim. And I didn't know why they did do that. I didn't know who they were. It was 95 degrees. And then I joined the Army. And in the Army, I was racist. People didn't like me. And then I joined the St. Louis Police Department. So I was bombarded with racism. And I was angry, and I fought. I'll admit to you that I carried a weapon long before I was a police officer. I belonged to gangs. And I thought the way you solve a problem was to fight. And I fought a lot. We went to segregated schools, black schools only. And then I met Mrs. King in 1981 in Dr. Lafayette about my child in school, the academic achievement of my child in school. And based on that relationship, she brought me to the King Center, and I sit right here in this auditorium in 1981 listening to what you're listening to now. And Honorable Andrew Young, Maynard Jackson, Dorothy Cotton, John Lewis, and Bevel, all of them taught me. Her daddy, James Orange, taught me what we're about to teach you. And I went back to St. Louis and began to apply it in teaching police officers and working with the police department. And then I came back from the Soviet Union in 1991. That's when the Soviet Union went from Russia to the Soviet Union. And Mrs. King asked me to come here and join her. So I retired from the St. Louis Police Department, came here and worked 4 years for Mrs. Coretta Scott King as the Director of Education and Training. And now I work for her daughter, Reverend Dr. Bernice King, who I'm the senior trainer for that. So that's my transition. I've been all over the world, and any questions you have, there are no dumb questions. The only dumb questions are the ones you don't ask, because I had 1,000 of them when I first heard this. Thank you, and thank you for coming.
Amen. How about a round of applause? Ms. Orange, it's said that you picked up where your father left off. Tell us about that and how this is always an ongoing, I don't know if struggle is the right word, it probably is still the appropriate word, but this is always an ongoing movement and challenge to keep the message alive and keep that message of nonviolence moving forward. Tell us about that.
Well, I don't know. First, what I need for everybody to do, I need you to touch your neighbor. Touch your neighbor, you know, and for those neighbors that are asleep, I need us to wake them up. Come on. Because y'all know, when y'all get back to school, y'all teachers are not going to appreciate letting an opportunity of talking to a veteran like Dr. Alfred go. Talking to one of the family members of Dr. King and A.D. King go. Now, you know, I see y'all somewhere on the west side, and y'all can talk to me anytime. However, I want y'all to take advantage, full advantage. Oh no, because y'all know I'm looking at each and every one of you. The reason that, and I'll move, the reason that it's important that I keep y'all engaged is because the world is the way the world is, because we did not fully let y'all know just how bad of a situation that we're in. Nonviolence is not passive, and Dr. Alfred will tell y'all that. But we've got to remember that there's certain things that we've got to know as a culture and as a people, as the human race, that we've got to just delve in. So when I say I'm continuing the legacy of my dad, I just want you all to be better than what I was. The mistake that I realized I made is that I didn't teach y'all, one, to appreciate your history. I didn't teach you to appreciate your history, and two, to tell you your history. Because one of the things that I envy about Jewish people is they make sure that their young people know their history. And I need you to do me a favor, touch our neighbor. Thank you. I'm with y'all. We need to know who we are. That's why y'all at the King Center. The King Center was founded by Mrs. King, a beautiful woman, her beautiful woman on the outside and inside. And so I just need us to really just kind of wake up and feel the energy that this place has. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Celeste, you are a direct lineage to the King family. Tell us what that means in the historical nature of your family and how you move forward with that message.
Good afternoon, everyone. As it was said, I am the granddaughter of A.D. King, A.D. Williams King, who was Martin's youngest brother. And being a part of that family, it gives a sense of purpose, right? We are a family where faith was important, where community was important, where bringing people together was important. My grandfather was a youth organizer during the movement, and he would work with kids that are your age. People in your generation were the ones who were, you know, going out marching, getting locked up so that they could help fill the jails. And so that was how change was brought. It wasn't just the old people. It wasn't just the young people. It was everybody, and everybody was taught their worth, taught their value, and taught that it was important to show up to make a difference. And so that is why when we have these opportunities to come and to engage, I show up because I see you, I know where you are, I know where you could go if you realize that you still had people who love you and show you that you are still valued. So I'm just grateful to be here and excited.
I'm looking at, I think, these two ladies and maybe this lady. Who are the teachers here? Raise your hand, teachers. All right, so you teachers, I'm going to leave it to you. I really would like it, because I think we got a couple of shy young people here. Pick me out some of your kids. Get them to that microphone. I can be up here all day long, but we want to hear from this generation. What is this generation's view, if you will? Because you're young, but you guys are smart. You know what we're talking about here. You've seen it up close. You understand it. So think a little bit about why it matters to your future. In 10 years, 15 years, where will you be thinking? What will you be thinking? Let me ask the captain about a definition you mentioned earlier to me about, I think you were talking about Coretta Scott King was saying this is the definition of nonviolence. Because I don't know about you all, but I grew up and my father said you fight in life. And for that meant literally fight. And I was in a bunch of fights when I was a kid and thrown out of school and all that stuff. It wasn't the nice, pretty face on TV that you see now. Not even. I think we all have a path in life that we have to discover, and sometimes you have to choose. Am I going to fight, literally fight, or am I going to choose a different path? Speak a little bit about that, please.
Yeah, my brother here is kind of nervous, but he's going to get to the microphone. I need a question from you. I can see it, okay? I think nonviolence is the most misunderstood word in the English language. When I first heard nonviolence, I thought it was praise the Lord, singing We Shall Overcome, and marching. And I didn't want any part of that. I didn't think that's the way you change people's minds. I said, give me a stick and a pistol. That's the way you change people's minds. So I was totally ignorant of what Dr. King was doing. I didn't meet Dr. King, but I saw him, and he was killed, and I didn't meet him because I didn't believe what he was doing. I could see him in the South. But it was after his death that I felt how misinformed I was about the word. Nonviolence doesn't say you stop fighting, it just says change your weapon. When we talk to gang leaders, when we talk to people who are doing disruptive behavior, we say, don't give up your fight, just change your weapon. You don't fight with this, you fight with this. And Dr. King brought this nation, this whole powerful, most powerful nation in the world, brought it to his knees by the way he thought through actions, not through the fist or the weapon or the AK-47. So therefore, nonviolence is a democracy. Nonviolence makes the democracy work. So nonviolence is militant. This is Dr. King's words. He said nonviolence is militant. It can be militant because it's demanding, it's consistent, and it's persistent. And he said those three adjectives say that I am militant. So there's a militancy in nonviolence. It's not passive, turn the other cheek. Turn the other cheek is all out of context with Dr. King's philosophy. Fight or flight is not Dr. King's philosophy. And we want to teach you Dr. King's philosophy so you can use it in the hallways at school when you have problems with people bullying you. So it's relevant. Okay. And so we teach that to you to make sure that you understand nonviolence always resists. You always resist in nonviolence. And Dr. King organized to make people in a democracy. We'll talk about how that democracy, how you can make this democracy work, because we're going to give you some real good information on this. So that's a little snapshot, postage stamp of what it is, but we can actually at the King Center sit you down and work with you and teach you how you can begin to change some issues that you don't like in your school, in your family. Most of the time, we're more violent to the people we say we love. I'll say that again. Most of the time, we're more violent than the people we say we love with our tongue. The way you talk to your siblings, the way you talk to your parents. That's all a form of violence. So violence, Dr. King, is holistic. It's not just the physical, it's psychological. I was in homicide. I was commander of homicide in St. Louis. Homicide kills on the third highest in the nation, homicide. I've seen death so much, I never want to see death again. But most people will kill you for what you say. Your tongue is the most dangerous weapon you have in your vocabulary. It disturbs your nervous system and will cause people to hate you and want to kill you. So the first thing you do when you leave here today, watch your tongue. When you go back to school, watch what you say.
Amen. What a great lesson. I had to watch my tongue driving in. Some guy almost hit me. He was about a foot away from me. And I said, no, just relax. You know how traffic will get you going. We have some questions here. Tell us your name and what is your question?
My name is Shania, and my question is, what can I do as a ninth grader to impact social change and nonviolence in my community?
Who wants to handle that?
As a ninth grader in your community, it's very easy. I say it's easy. It may not be. You get with a group of your friends, and you all start attending some of the school board meetings. You all start attending some of the city council. Well, city council meets during the day. But ask your teachers if that could be a field trip. If you all have an issue, attend some of the school board meetings. As a group, y'all can change some things. What I told a group of young people not too long ago was, it's more of y'all than it is of us. It really is. One of my favorite people in the world is Mary Pat Hector. Mary Pat, at the age of 19, ran for city council of Stonecrest. She was 19. She's been active in the community since she was 10. Now, she lost her election by 22 votes. 22 votes. And you know how we like to say, oh, my vote don't matter, my vote don't matter. Oh, but it does. And so if you can lose an election by 22 votes, that's why our former president was calling down here, because he needed just 10,000 votes. You know, votes matter. And so if you all get together and discuss an issue, if violence within your school is an issue, if a group of you all get together and make a stand against that, because it'll be more of you all standing against the violence than those that are violent, y'all can start to see a change.
Thank you.
Hallelujah. Celeste, anything you'd like to add to that? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I would add too that even though a lot of you are probably under the age of 18, where you can't literally go and cast a vote, you can still vote with your dollars. You can encourage your friends to be conscious and responsible of where they are spending their money too. Social media is a very powerful tool to find who has similar ideals and similar beliefs, and you can organize campaigns that way to raise awareness to your issues and things like that. And you can also get your parents involved, since they are adults. If you bring issues to them and, you know, make a big stink about it, parents care what their kids are thinking and what they're doing. Get them encouraged and get them involved too, would be my advice.
And two quick things. Dr. King always organized. So to start up moving in your school, you have to organize. And you organize across racial, ethnic, and cultural lines. Your organization cannot be black oriented. It has to be across racial lines. The issue has to be about people issue, not race. Okay? That's the power. That's why they said Dr. King is powerful, because he organized across that racial, ethnic line. The second thing is ask questions. I'm not sure why a school board meets in the daytime. City Council. I'm not sure. In St. Louis, we changed that. Your parents can't go. You can't go. So I don't know why they do that. There may be a reason, but just ask the question. Don't fuss at them, just ask the question. And you, as young people, can ask the question. You need to be at those meetings, because that decides what kind of police service you get, when your street gets swept, when your weeds get cut, when they board up the vacant homes. All that's decided by that city council. So I'd ask the question, why do you all meet when everybody's working? Thank you very much.
Next question. What is your name and what is your question?
My name is Kennedy, and my question is, like, I understand how it could be so difficult and very scary for you all, like, persevering in those times. So my question is, how did you all stay motivated? What kept you going?
The funniest part, now, my gray hair don't fool you. It wasn't in those times. I wasn't in those times. My dad was a part of those. Celeste wasn't in those times. Now, I'm not going to date you either. Okay. But what keeps me motivated in these times is I look at y'all. When we had the uprising during COVID, I saw y'all movement. I saw Civil Rights 2.2. I did. I saw y'all. I saw y'all rising up. Police brutality is nothing new. Mr. Alfred said he was almost killed, but he joined the police, but he said he was almost killed by the police. Police brutality is nothing new, but I saw y'all rising up against a cause to yourselves. So I stay motivated because I see there's something there. And what I need to do is make myself available to assist y'all with getting to where y'all want to be. I need to be available to help you, because at some point you're gonna need just a little advice and or just a little guidance as to how to tweak your message and or how to better craft and develop some other strategies to help you push forward.
What kept me going? Wow, that's a very serious question. I guess, first of all, my faith, what I believed in. And then second, of what I had experienced. Three of my best friends were killed by police officers, shot for running. And I wanted to change for you. I wanted to make sure that you didn't experience the same thing I did. So therefore, things that made me change was I believed in something higher than myself. And in nonviolence, if you think that everything stops at the top of your head, this is going to be hard to practice because you're consumed with self. The other thing that changed my mind was that I knew that if we could change that cycle of violence one time, if we broke it one time, we break it for unborn generations. So I may not see the break, but I can see you. There's a hope that the unborn generation will change. So therefore, what kept me going was my hope, and also the people that came before me. You're in a school by the name of a young man that you ought to know about, the name of your school. And those people are who the shoulders that we stand on. So therefore, what kept me going is that this philosophy took me back to who I am as a human being. You see, violence is a learned behavior. If it's learned, it can be unlearned. So when I practice this, when you do violence, it's out of character. That's out of your character. So what this did is took me back and say, who are you as a human being, and what are you here for? And that's what kept me going, identifying why am I here now, and how am I violating my humanity by violating other people.
That's good. What keeps me motivated, and I will date myself, you know, I was born in the 70s, you know, so I'm a part of the generation that sort of went to sleep on a lot of issues. I'm a part of the generation where people felt like we arrived, so we stopped doing the work. And so I do what I do because I feel bad that we handed y'all a world that made you think that everything was safe. But in 2008, when President Obama was elected, that woke up a sense of racism that no one.
Do you know? Okay, Google that. And when you Google that, you will be shocked that the number of people who can vote in Georgia